I'm Kurt Civilette. I'm the horn instructor at the Michigan State Community Music School, and this is a video to help you prepare for the MSBOA All-State auditions for horn. And the piece they chose this year is an etude by Kling, and it's found in what I call the Blue Book. It's a set of etudes compiled by Patag, and this is book 1. It's found on page 125. It is an aria from Mozart's Don Giovanni. It goes something like this. So the things to think about when you're preparing this theme is it has to be nice and bouncy. It has a little bit of a march feel, and there are terrace dynamics. You have loud and soft, so make sure you observe those. The main tune goes up to a high A, which is quite a high note, so you will have to practice that a lot. One way that I suggest to practice it is practice the contour of the phrase with just the big notes and leave out the small notes. Get used to the feel of it. So it'd be something like this. And then when you add the small notes and put it all together, it comes out a lot easier. Still stress those big notes as if you were playing them by themselves. Okay, so that's a good way to practice that, get that going. Starting in measure 13, there are some trills indicated. The easiest way to do this is to trill up one note and back down. So something like this. So if you play it like that, it'll sound great. If you do have a lip trill developed, it would sound something like this. But a lot of people don't have a lip trill developed, and that's totally fine. If you do it the way I played it at first, it'll sound really good. So here's the whole next passage. At the very end there, you'll notice I slow it down and I place that note that's in the fermata in measure 19. And you can do that every time that appears. Right before that, there's a passage where you play the tune and you go down to a middle G between each note of the tune. I would suggest you play that, playing the G on the B flat horn, fingered 1. So each time you go down to it, you're staying on the B flat horn for the entire passage, and you're just going back and forth between different notes on the B flat horn. So that'll come out a lot cleaner. Normally the G is on the F horn open, and there would be a lot of switching back and forth, and it would not be as easy or as clean. So listen to that again. And then the theme comes back, so you've already worked on that and prepared that. So starting, pick up to measure 20. And starting at measure 32 is variation. So it's almost exactly the same, just the notes are a little faster. fives, there's groups of 5. I use the word university to sing to myself how it's supposed to go. So, university 1, university dum, bum. So it's almost just like 16th notes, it's just a little more rushed. Then starting at measure 45, this is where it starts to get a little tricky. Make sure you practice this slowly, use your metronome, find the tempo that you can play it perfectly, and don't move it up until you can play it perfectly at a certain tempo, and then slowly increase the tempo. If you try to play it too fast without doing the good preparation, it'll probably sound messy and sloppy. So start at a very conservative tempo. So you play it at that tempo, figure out the tempo that you can play it at, and then slowly move the metronome up. The MSBOA had indicated a tempo of 108 for the whole etude, and you don't need to play it that fast. I'm playing it at about 100, and it sounds good. That's how it goes if you listen to the opera. And for this passage, you could even slow it down a little more. I would say if you can get it to quarter note equals 92, it'll sound pretty fast. It'll sound plenty fast. So this is what it basically sounds like at quarter note equals 92. So something like that. I'm afraid that wasn't perfect, but you get the idea. And then for the final version, the composer adds sextuplets to the mix. So these are quite fast. Again, practice this passage at the end with just the big notes and leave out the small notes. So that's it. That ending uses 7 groups instead of 6. So if you think of the 6 as 2 triplets, da 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 da, then the 7 would be a triplet plus 4, da 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 da. So just a slightly rushed version of the 6. So if you want to listen to the entire etude, I have another version of this without commentary. So I urge you to listen to that several times. Listen to me play it all the way through, get a feel of how it's supposed to go, and then you don't have to sit through all the commentary. And good luck preparing for your 2012 MSBOA All-State Band and Orchestra audition.